Well, good afternoon. This is your Barefoot Country Cook back in the kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how to make some essential oil. Well, what started this was I got some sangria, and I put, as Fred Sanford called, put the garbage in it, which is little chunks of oranges, lemons, sometimes grapefruit, and it just makes the sangria even better. So that's what it's made of. It's made from fruit. So all you need to do a citrus oil, and you can do it totally lemon, you can do it totally orange, you can do it, make a grapefruit oil if you want. Now why I'm making a citrus oil is it's really great when added to shea butter and some arrowroot powder to make a nice skin cream for your skin. It's very good for your skin. So I'm making up the oil so I can mix it with the shea butter later. And I'm using the sweet almond oil. This is Maison's sweet almond oil. Great stuff, by the way. And how you make your oil is, and I'm using a small jar because you only need so many little drops. And so I don't need a big jar. So I'm using a small pint jar. This is a canning jar, so you've got the canning lid and the ring. You're not sealing it, you're just going to put everything in here. When you eat an orange, save the peel. Now, what you want to do is, all this white stuff that hooks to the skin, you want to get rid of as much of that as possible because the oil comes from the actual rinds. And you're going to put those pieces, I like to cut them into like 1-inch chunks so they fit better. So little 1-inch squares, kind of like this. 1-inch pieces, just throw them in there. Now this is a mixed citrus blend. It's going to have grapefruit, orange, and lemon. So I already skinned my insides of my orange. And that's basically a half of an orange. And now I've got a half of a grapefruit. And I'm going to take a paring knife, you got to be careful, and you just put the blade in this white part and get it as close to that skin on top and get all this white stuff off. So I'm taking out the white part, and then you can see you just see mostly the skin part. So that's that piece of grapefruit there. And I'm going to do it with the grapefruit. I've got several little pieces here. You can even do, like when you fillet a fish, you can sit the piece down like this and just kind of, you can use a fillet knife. Probably would be easier to do it that way because they're a little bit on the sharper side. Just be careful you don't cut yourself. I'm trying to do that. And if you hold it down, you can get it really, really close. And just kind of leave your blade kind of like go at a 20-degree angle. A 15-degree angle actually is what that is. And as soon as you can see the little dots from the skin on the other side, you know you've gotten most of that white stuff off of there. A lot of kids don't like eating certain fruits because of that white stuff. So it's actually good for you to eat. But when it comes to your oil, you don't want that because it doesn't benefit the oil at all. Because the oils are coming from the skin. And I'm going to do that with the grapefruit. Just like this. See, I'm a lefty, so I can't cut stuff like a righty does. And like that. I made some citrus oil a while back and added cinnamon for a harvest scent. Like for the fall. It's really, really aromatic. It's really good. And great thing about cinnamon, you can use ground cinnamon for cinnamon oil if you're going to do a blend with citrus and cinnamon, or you can actually get cinnamon sticks and stick them in there. Cinnamon is actually a bark, if anybody was not aware. Okay, that's that. Now, for the lemon. These are lemons where they're not firm anymore, which means they're getting ready to kind of like not be, you like a hard lemon. So all you do with that is, and we don't waste anything in the Barefoot Kitchen. So I'm going to cut that lemon in half. I'm going to cut that half in half. And I'm going to cut the meat out of it. And squeeze that for some fresh lemon juice for some other recipes. Put it in a little glass jar or in or actually a drinking glass. Actually peeled the lemon part out. See if I peeled that out? Came right out of it, right out of the skin. That's because it's a little overripe. Now there's not much rind white in here, but there's a little. So you scrape it out. Take the knife and put it at that same 15-degree angle and just kind of scrape across it to get that the skin part that usually comes off with it, and it peels it right off of there. It's kind of like think of scaling a fish. Basically, it's kind of what you're doing. You're scaling out the white. This is the white stuff from the grapefruit or the orange, and the white is very thin on a lemon, so you just kind of scale it from the inside out. Take that off, and then you can cut your little 1-inch squares that way. Now there is another thing you can do to release the oils from these pieces. I have some lemon oil that's done, and oh my goodness, it smells so good. Is before, I'm going to actually do this. When you've got your pieces all done, okay, you get your meat tenderizer. Get your meat tenderizer. And you can use the bumpy side or the flat side. You can put, since I'm using this on the cutting board, I'm going to use the bumpy side to tenderize it. I'm just going to smack them. It's a little bit, just to kind of bruise the skin to let those oils seep out. When they go into the sweet almond oil, this will help. And I'm not making them into mush. I'm just bruising them. It's bruising. It's just putting some air holes, basically, in the skin to allow the natural oils to come through. So go like that. Put it back in the jar. Now, however much goes into this jar, I'm just going to cover it with the sweet almond oil. Okay. So I got another piece of lemon here. I'm going to use 1 whole lemon for this oil since it's a small jar. If it was a larger jar, I'd do 2 lemons. There are 2 lemons that are about kind of ready to go. So I'm peeling the skin off. So now I have my lemon, the lemon meat. Stick it in there. There's a little bit of white on here, not a whole lot. So I'm doing my fish scaling technique. Like I'm scaling a fish to get the rest of it off. Down to the translucent look of the outer skin. Like this. Turn it over with the right side of the skin up, bruise it. I just hit it like twice. And put it in the jar. Okay. And I get the other half of the lemon. I want this to be more of a lemony kind of oil, so I'm using more lemon than the grapefruit and the orange. That the grapefruit and the orange is just a benefit of the excess vitamin C, I should say. And this other half doesn't want to come out like so easy. So, great thing about this is your hands smell nice and clean and fresh. They smell lemony, they citrus smell. And you can use lemon oil for lots of things. But the lemon juice, if you want to lighten your hair, it's good for a hair lightener. Remember the product called Sun-In? Yep. I used to use that when I was a kid. Well, but all girls did because everybody wanted to be a blonde. Not me. I stayed with my red hair. Okay, there's that half. Got that peeled off. See if this one will pop out. Because it doesn't. I gotta help it. Come on, lemon. Come out. Come out. Come out. Sometimes it's easier to peel an orange than a lemon anyway. But when a lemon gets to be older like this, where it starts to get mushy on the end, feels mushy and not firm anymore, that's when you want to use it for, the lemon juice. Get the juice out of it. And if you want to make lemon oil and keep the skin. Or anytime you have any leftover rinds of any kind of food, make a compost for your garden. That's what this stuff is great for. So I'm going to do like this. The reason why I cut it up in smaller pieces like this is because it tends to help the oil fermenting process. Takes a shorter amount of time. Oh, this is... So I'm hitting each one twice till it makes an indentation in the outside of the skin. And as soon as that's done, okay, this jar is half full of my peels. Got all this stuff here that's going to go in the compost. There's a peel that I missed. Make sure I don't have any white pieces in there. I don't. And then pour the almond oil in it.
A little trimming of the weeds over there along the edge of the grass. Over there by the culvert.
Well, this is going to be citrus oil.
Which is what?
Citrus oil.
Oh.
And I just covered it because I want more of the citrus to come out and not so much of the regular oil.
That's why I saved the orange rinds for you.
Well, I appreciate you saving me the orange ones because they make great citrus oil. Oh my gosh. And then just kind of stir it up. And then it sits for 4 to 6 weeks in a sunny spot. This sangria gave me the idea. So I took one of the mushy lemons, and the half of that grapefruit that I cut up, and then an orange. So that's how you make citrus oil. That's one of those easy things. Yeah, you gotta wait for it, but hey, it's worth the wait.
That got you chirped.
Now these scraps I'm gonna put in my compost pile I started outside. And then I've got some plants to plant. So this has been your Barefoot Country Cook, and I've showed you how to make some citrus oil. Like I said, if you have some shea butter, you just mix so many drops with it. It gives it that nice lemony benefit. And if you don't want it to be greasy, you add some arrowroot powder. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Give it a comment or two if you'd like to see more. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos by the Barefoot Country Cook back in the kitchen, just subscribe. And hope you've enjoyed this. God bless.